Welcome back. As changing climates, suburban development, and recreational demands are putting a squeeze on Montana's #1 natural resource, water. But the problem isn't going unnoticed. And next week, some 300 people are in Helena for a water summit to talk about how Montana can get in front of this issue. MTN's Mike Dennison has the story.
You know, of course it's a concern because that's our livelihood. Without that water, I wouldn't be passing this ranch on to this 5th generation. And they're banking on that water, providing for them also.
The state representative Walt Sales farms and ranches south of Manhattan in the Gallatin Valley about 15 miles northwest of booming Bozeman. Sales and other farmers have long-standing water rights, giving them priority on river flow, but they've agreed to keep water in the rivers for other users during the driest months of summer. It's these type of local agreements that officials hope to foster statewide, in the face of what's expected to be growing pressure on Montana's water supplies.
We know the problem's there. We're not just going to turn and run or try to run it over by one special entity, but come together and work towards fixing it because we're all in this valley together. It's been a bit of a challenge, but I think we've learned a lot and can hopefully share that in other growth areas in the state.
Sales and many others will preach that gospel next week at Montana's first State Water Summit. The summit is sold out with 300 participants. Lieutenant Governor Mike Cooney, who chairs the governor's Drought Advisory Committee, says the summit will showcase and encourage local efforts to anticipate and deal with water shortages.
If you haven't done it, if you haven't started having these discussions, you need to start doing it because you don't want to wait for a crisis to occur.
Cooney says top-down solutions aren't the answer and points to how Gallatin County water users are working together to solve water shortages in the state's fastest-growing county. He says the summit also will feature information on the changing climate, which makes water shortages increasingly likely into the future.
Even if we have a great snowpack, even if it looks like it's going to melt off when we want it to, we still need to have these conversations because we will have drought. It's not a matter of if we will, it's when the drought will come and how do we make sure that our communities are best prepared to deal with it.
Cooney, Sales, and others also say they're certain about something else. This issue isn't going away anytime soon. As development continues here in Gallatin County, water is a precious commodity, here and all across the state. But next week's Water Summit looks to find common ground for all water users and still keep the Big Sky State as beautiful and prosperous as ever. Mike Dennison, MTN News on the Gallatin River.
The two-day summit opens next Tuesday morning at the Radisson Colonial Hotel in Helena.